Second Ezra 3 and verse 16. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau. And so Jacob became a great multitude. Double honors, the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. Peace and salutation to brothers on down, teaching, preaching, pushing this gospel, good news to four corners of the earth, waking up the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. Greetings also to the few sisters that tune into these video epistles. Hope you're edified, built up by the power of truth that's coming out of this book. It's our book, the holy book for the holy people. We're on this, we make a little series of this here, Edomite, Kryptonite. Part 2, we're calling this one the Apocrypha. We're just going to read from the Apocrypha. I've just picked out a few verses here that identifies the wickedness of this man calling himself the white man. But the secret is out. Your Esau, Edom in the book, the subject of great, prophecy. You're right there at the end. It's you, it's you. It doesn't matter what all your aliases. It's not work. The hopeful elect is what we refer to ourselves. You can call us what you like. Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, blacks, Hispanics, England is called wogs and Negroes and all these derogatory terms. This is part of our punishment for straying away, disobedience from our power. But it hasn't worked. The Most High in this time has woken up. His elect, Lord willing, we're of that number. We're going straight back to the book. That's what we like to do, to read the book. Break down the areas we can break down. If you want all the detailed breakdown, well, they're on the brothers' channels. You can get all your detailed breakdowns here. But let's just read Second Ezra 3. Second Ezra 3, let's go from 13 now. Now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them whose name was Abraham. Him thou lovest, and unto him only thou showest thy will. Reminds me of Amos 3 and 1. You only have I known. See, they're trying to make this the Roman Catholic bullshit. Catholicism means universal. They've got a new religion. It's for everyone. You can just do what you like. You live like you like. A lawless living. And made us an everlasting covenant with him. Who? With Abraham, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. It didn't just stop with Abraham. We read this before. Read it again. Verse 16. And unto him, Abraham, thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau. Esau is not chosen. You're chosen as the wicked. That's your role in the movie. But it's Jacob that became a great multitude. See? Not you. And it came to pass that when thou leddest his seed out of Egypt, thou broughtest them up to the Mount Sinai, and bowing the heavens thou didst set fast the earth, movest the whole world, and madest the depths to tremble, and troublest the men of that age. And the glory went through 4 gates of fire, and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold, that thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob. We're the ones who can trespass against the covenant, blood oath contract between us and our power. It's got nothing to do with the other nation. And diligence unto the generation of who? Of Israel. We are the people of the Lord, and you are the wicked. And this is Kryptonite. That's why you try to do away with the Apocrypha. Oh, it's not canonized and all this madness. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. Let's jump forward in this same chapter here. Let's get some of these. Verse 31. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon? We read the modern day Babylon here, America, Babylon the Great, the people. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion, Israel? Or is there any other people that knoweth thee beside Israel? Or what generation hath so believed thy covenants as Jacob? And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labour hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. This reminds me of that, I think it's Psalm 83, Asaph. He's looking, he's saying, oh, look at these people, they seem to be flourishing. Oh, they are flourishing. They have the fatness of the earth. This is their blessing. They are in their kingdom. They who? Esau, Edom, heads up the cast of wicked nations. He is known as the wicked. Psalms 83 gives you a list. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precept, but not the heathen. Our brother here putting the case, asking the questions. Love reading Esdras, and we're going to keep reading it. Let's get, see, the Most High has favorites. Let's get some of his favorites here. Right throughout creation, he has favorites of everything. 2nd Esdras 5. 2nd Esdras 5. We're going to get towards the end here. There's 23. So this is Esdras speaking to the Most High through his angel here, Archangel Uriel, I think is the one. 23, and said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine, and of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, one land, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily. That's his favorite flower. And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river. I think that's the river Jordan. And of all the builded cities, thou hast hollowed Zion unto thyself. Israel, that's his favorite, that area there. Palestine. And of all the fowls that are created, look how many birds there are. Thou hast named thee one, the dove, that's his favorite. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one, a sheep, that's his favorite. And among all the multitudes of peoples, thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto this people, whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. It doesn't matter whether you agree or not. The Most High has his favorites. You can argue with him if you like. Good luck with that. And now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people, who he gave the law, who are Hebrew Israelites? Why have you given this one people over unto many? And upon the one root hast thou prepared others? And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? Reminds me of Deuteronomy 28 and 64. We scattered the four corners of the earth, worshipping their gods, forgotten who we were. We're catching that right here in the Apocrypha. And they which did gainsay thy promises, and believed not thy covenants, have trodden them down. That's us, been trodden down by the heathen headed up by Esau, Edom. Turn the page. Let's get 2nd Esdras 6 right at the end here. 2nd Esdras 6, we're going to go from 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also, whom thou hast chosen. We're on this favorites here. Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh. He is, he to be, is the existing one. His only begotten Son is Yahweh Shai. He is salvation. He's our Redeemer, High Priest, Mediator, Intercessor. He's everything to us. Those are the names. That's who we worship. And we are his favorites. Let's keep reading. Verse 55, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Everything is going to be subject to Yahushua, and he's made us joint heirs. As for the other people which also came of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. I think that's Isaiah 40, 50, maybe 15. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen headed up by Esau, Edom, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us, and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. The guy just is asking, how long is this? What's going on? Why are we supposed to be in rulership, and these people are ruling over us? If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? He's asking the question. We could be looking at these people bouncing around the earth, calling themselves noblemen. Oh, I'm king this, I'm the queen of that. All of the world's resources has been given into this man's hands. And so he's in his kingdom. We can't fight him down for his kingdom. Uriel was explaining to our brother here, Ezra, what is going on. And so you got several discourses during this book, especially 2nd Esdras, of an explanation as to the mind of the Most High. How is it that we are in this position under this man? So this is kryptonite to the Edomite. This is the truth right here. That's how you're in position. You keep putting out your IQ test and claiming that, oh, you're so intelligent. It's because everybody else is beasts. They're less than human. So you're in your position because of your intellect. No, you're there because of prophecy. And prophecy, manifest destiny, has got a conclusion coming up real soon. And it is this man going into slavery. We're getting more of this. We're just sticking with the Maccabees for the whole of this lesson, attempting to get into some of the other scriptures, but we're not going to do that in this lesson. Try not to anyway. Let's get 1 Maccabees 1:9, because part of this is secular history. These people boast. In fact, all of this is historical here, and they boast. In school, you would have heard about Alexander the Great, for example, and they claim that civilization started with this man. Why? Because it was the first Greek rulership, Edomites, who took over the Japhites who was in that land. Beat them all up, kill them, slay them, rape them. That's this man's ammo. And so he started claiming that he's Greek. So the white man, this was his first spell at rulership over the known world at that time. So Philip first was the father, and he died and left with his son, Alexander the Great. And after his death, this is Maccabees, 1 Maccabees 1:9. And after his death, speaking of Alexander the Great, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. So as soon as this man got in, wickedness took over the whole earth with this man. Secular history. We're going to jump forward to this first chapter here. It details out just a small portion of his wickedness and all the generals who was under him. But let's jump forward to verse 20. Let's just get some of this. You have to read all of this to get it all. And after Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude, and entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar, the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, the veil, the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. Imagine the rage of this man. He hates this Edomite, so-called white man. He hates the Hebrew Israelites and all of our customs and our peculiarities. He hates it. He took over the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also, he took the hidden treasures which he found. When he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. You can just see this man. Therefore was a great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were. See, that's this man and his wickedness. Jump to verse 28. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion, just like it is now. Look what's happening in Israel, even those who have woken up to who they are. Madness. It's like there's a conveyor belt of these people queuing up to say, I'm marking myself for destruction. There's missiles with all these people's names on it. Oh, I don't want to, I'm not an Israelite anymore because. So then they just fill in the gaps right there. Let's jump forward to verse 41. Because the Hebrew Israelites got caught up with this wicked man's scheme. Let's read some more here. 41. Moreover, King Antiochus, the Edomite, so-called white man, wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Where have we heard this before? And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandments of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. What is his religion? Lawlessness, idolatry, and sacrifice unto idols, and profane the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. That's all this naked wrestling and all this. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice, drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary, and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh, which he knows for sure is an abomination to Israelites, and unclean beasts. See? Few more verses. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they might forget the law, and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, what should happen to them? They should die. See, this was no small matter. This is how we get to the position in when you read the New Testament. And there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek. Why? Because they're all the same people. This is a Hellenization taking place right here. You can't call yourself who you are. So you got to call yourself a Greek. They're the ones who are in power. So you got people doing that now. When this is the truth is presented in front of them, they want to fight. So many generations lost in the sauce, so to speak. What do you mean we are those people? I'm Greek. What would happen before is happening again. So we're 2 Maccabees 5. 2 Maccabees 5, we're going to go from 23 to the end. And that Garazim, Andronicus, and besides Menelaus, who worse than all the rest bear an heavy hand over the citizens, having a malicious mind against his countrymen, the Jews. This is real hate right here. He sent also that detestable ringleader, Apollonius, with an army of 22,000, commanding him to slay all those that were in their best age. See, this is wickedness. And to sell the women and the younger sort, who coming to Jerusalem and pretending peace, did forbear till the holy day of the Sabbath. See what these people have done. It's a repeat. Remember how they took out the older folks who was lagging behind when the children of Israel was leaving the promised land, if I got that right. Or leaving Egypt, I should say. I'd have to check myself on that. Who coming to Jerusalem and pretending peace did forbear till the holy day of the Sabbath, when taking the Jews keeping a holy day, he commanded his men to arm themselves. So everyone was observing the Sabbath. They wasn't preparing for war. And so this Edomite, this coward, armed themselves. And so he slew all them, he murdered them in cold blood that were gone to the celebrating of the Sabbath, and running through the city with weapons, slew great multitudes. But Judas Maccabeus with 9 others or thereabout withdrew himself into the wilderness, and lived in the mountains after the manner of the beast with his company, who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of this wicked pollution. Most High always has a people, a remnant, elect, chosen. 2 Maccabees. Edomite, Kryptonite right here. 2 Maccabees 6. Let's go from 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So if you can't say who you are, what option do you have? You've got to go with who's in rulership, or else. And in the day of the king's birth every month they were bought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, here up in the hills, Jamaica, Bacchanalia, sure there's a connection there. Bacchus, same. It's idol worship. The Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus, carrying ivy. See? Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. We're doing it now. We're joining in. This is Stockholm Syndrome here. We want the gods of our possessors, those who possess us in captivity. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery. Indeed, wickedness by the wicked himself. Let's wrap up with, we've got to read 2 Ezra 6. We're going to go from 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. What's that? Speaking to him, removing him from power, is happening now. Verse 9. Why? For Esau, Edom, the white man, is the end of the world. And Jacob, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, plus those spread to the four corners of the earth who look like whoever they look like. It's not a color thing if you're still stuck on that. Well, you're lost. You've got some catching up to do. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. We're up next. We're going to hold it there for the lesson. Probably just going to keep this series going as long as the Spirit is on me. This is part 2, Edomite, Kryptonite, the Apocrypha. Shalom. Until the next lesson.